When we went to Texas Children's, I had never been there before. I did not know what to expect. And I did know we were meeting with an hematologist. But when we walked in, there was a hallway. There were two hallways, and one did say hematology, but one said oncology. But that Friday visit, the blood work, although it came back with low platelets, Ridge's red blood cells, white blood cells, and hemoglobin levels, all these different things that they would look at as maybe indicators that they should test for leukemia, those all came back fine. We were thankful to God that whatever we were going through right now, we did realize it could be worse. We could be going through something else way more serious than what we're going through. When you look at the grand scheme of things and you open your eyes and look around at the other kids and parents in that waiting room, yes, it could be a much greater scope of diagnosis, and we were thankful that they did not need to do any kind of bone marrow samples. Someone asked if we had to do a spinal tap. We didn't have to do any of that. The blood work showed that there were immature platelets, and the doctor's explanation of that is that the body does understand that there is a problem. It understands there are not enough platelets, and so it's working overtime to produce platelets and basically spitting them out before they're ready to go. That's a good sign, just because we know that his body does not have a problem producing platelets, but it basically cannot keep up with the antibodies attack and the spleen's filtering of all these platelets. I did give approval for Ridge to be entered into this nationwide study. Like I said, doctors don't really know at this point why ITP is caused or why people get it, why some people get it, why some people spontaneously recover from it. So I didn't mind signing up for study. I didn't realize though that it was gonna require 6 vials of blood to be taken from him. And so this poor guy, they were having a really tough time finding a vein. I also at this point did not know that with ITP patients, it is very difficult to find a vein. And of course, Ridge was done at that point. He was ready to never go back to the doctor again. No more blood samples, no nothing. Well, I knew that was definitely not going to be the last of our blood draws. That was going to be the first of them. So we went back home. I told Ridge, you just have to let me know if you bump anything. I said, you cannot afford to get a scratch right now. Your loose tooth better not come out right now. I mean, nothing. I said, I don't think you understand. And of course, as a parent, you don't want to freak your kid out by telling him, oh, you have this horrible thing. I mean, you're gonna die if you get a cut. You're bleeding out, man. And my husband was thinking of that loose tooth as like this death sentence. My husband told him, you're like a ripe banana. He stepped on a Lego and that left a bruise on the bottom of his foot. And, you look for the humor in these things, and as a parent, you're like, yes, paybacks, paybacks, paybacks.